Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another episode, I suppose, of Head to Head. So I thought because we're kind of in the middle of spooky season, I would do a witch-related Head to Head. So this is the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake, and this is the Teen Witch Tarot by Laura Tuin. So I'll be talking about I'll just be comparing and contrasting these two, basically. If you've not seen one of these videos before, I mean, I've only done one, but this isn't a declutter video. This isn't any sort of, choosing. I love both of these, and I just wanted to make a video about the things I love about them, and how they compare and contrast. And I thought it might be helpful for some people who are deciding, if they want one of these, they could see a side by side, and I could talk through what I like about each of them. So we'll start off with the packaging. This is a typical Lo Scarabeo tuck box. It comes with a typical little white book, which gets a bit ratty with the closing and the opening of the tuck box. This comes in the gorgeous, big Llewellyn style boxes. I hold mine in this, actually. I keep mine here. I don't keep it in this box because it's quite big and bulky. So I'll show that. But yeah. And then I'll also show the guidebook for this, which is really, really beautiful. It's full color. There's space to write notes. There's a lot of information. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Can take a look at I like how at the beginning there's just different cards. There's about the author and the artist. And then, yeah, there's a little table of contents. So you get a bit more information than you would in a normal little white book. But it's cool because it's all at the end, so you don't have to kind of read it if you don't want to. Although I guess there's some at the beginning as well. But yeah, so that's the guidebook for that. I'll probably come back to that later. So what I thought I would do is do a little side-by-side comparison. I've put these back in order. And I'll talk through kind of, yeah, the two decks and what I think about them. So this is, I just have to point out, this is like a super cool, it's not a tablecloth, but it's like, a table runner, which is really cool. I got that from TK Maxx, which is TJ Maxx if you are in the US. Let's see if it'll focus. Yep. Let me just put that off to the side. And then, yeah, we can kind of start. So you can see the size is a bit different as well. So it's slightly wider, the Everyday Witch. These are the backs. This one's really nice because it's easier to shuffle if you have smaller hands. Oh, I just have to show off the edging job I did, so this comes unedged. But, oh, I don't think you can see it because it's quite dark, but I edged it in this dark purple. So it looks quite cool. But, yeah, so I thought I would start. So basically, these are the Teen Witch tarot used to be, so this one, it used to be called the Witchy Tarot, and then they that went out of stock, or out of print actually, and then they kind of rebranded it as the Teen Witch Tarot, which I can see why. It's very young leaning, which is fine. And yeah, so it's yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so this is like quite young leaning. This one has a bit more age diversity, I suppose. But it's kind of, both of them are like the witchy pointy hat kind of tarot. They're both quite cute. Yeah, like I know a lot of people really dislike this one in particular, and they say it doesn't have anything of substance, which I think is a total lie, because I think it's actually really good. It's really good for beginners, and I'd say it's really good for intuitive readers. I'd say this one follows the RWS more closely, even though the imagery is different. This one kind of does its own thing. But it's quite cool because this one feels like it's almost like a comic book, and you're like trying to figure out what the story is with the different characters. So yeah, so I'll just start. So the magician still has all of her tools. I like that they're both women. I love these two high priestesses. I just think they're amazing. Actually, this one, I guess, is a bit older. And I just love that this one's doing tarot. There's runes, books. I think I talked about this one in my my favorite majors video. I actually used a lot of cards from this deck for that, because I love this deck. I think the illustrations are really beautiful. Yeah, so see, if you've been watching any of my channel, you'll know I hate the Pregnant Empress a lot. So I quite like this one a lot more, because it's like she's getting her knowledge from books and from herself as well, and from her intuition. I will say that a lot of people have problems with this one, especially because it's more body beautiful. So it's very thin kind of bodies, which isn't representative of the society we live in, obviously. So the Emperor, this one looks a bit sneaky. I kind of like that though. I like that these ones are making the same gesture and they're kind of doing the same thing, but this one's just yoga or meditation, and then this one is kind of like learning magic. But yeah, I really like this. So this is where it gets interesting, because this one kind of takes a more, I'd say, Marseille approach with like the choice, whereas this one is more kind of a love match depiction, but both are quite interesting. Yeah, again, really like these. Yeah, I like that this one has an owl rather than the lion that's depicted. So this one's a bit more unusual. So I think if you're a more seasoned reader, this might prove a bit more challenging, which could be fun. Whereas this one, I think, is better for beginners probably, but that's not to say beginners won't understand this one as well, because it's still, the imagery is still potent enough and easy enough to read. So this is quite cool. And actually, let me just go through the guidebook for this. So what does it say about strength? Oh, let's see if I can... Yeah. Back beast. Get down to your roots and tame the inner beast that is inside. Whether it is raging emotions or a deep battle cry, allow the issues to run their course before returning to peace and a more balanced state of mind. Hush now, quiet down, shh. So it does actually reference what's happening in the image, which I really like, because we don't often get that, especially with a little white book. I really like that there's the bat in here. I really like this death card. Looks pretty badass. I really like both of these depictions of temperance because I don't really resonate with the RWS version of it, whereas this is a lot easier to kind of understand. Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure this was my favorite major for the devil, but I like this depiction of it as well. Yeah, I have to say I'm not like super impressed with the diversity in either of these, in terms of skin color diversity, body diversity, age diversity, ability diversity. It's not really a thing. So that's a shame. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. I think Deborah Blake kind of addressed that in her Everyday Witch Oracle. She added a lot more diversity, so that's pretty cool. Oh, I'm gonna have to speed up doing this, but it's quite cool. So this actually, if you look, this is like reflecting that, which is really cool. Yeah, again, the sun, the pregnant woman, not my favorite. I think this is quite a funny sun card. We normally see the baby on the horse, so this is like a bit different seeing a donkey. Judgment. I like this because, yeah, it kind of speaks to it's more expansive, I think, both of these, than the traditional Judgment, so that's cool. Oh, and I have to say, I love this deck because it has witches on the beach, because I feel like oftentimes it's like, you know, witches are only seen in dark castles or, you know, nature, and it's like, well, the beach is a part of that. Like, I'm definitely a beach witch. I love the beach. So it's really cool. I've never seen that depiction anywhere else. So that's cool. This one's on a little mushroom. And you can see what I mean about, like, the body beautiful. Like, everyone's kind of a very sexy witch, which is quite funny. So here we go with the aces. Yeah, this one's interesting because in my mind, this is almost the Four of Swords because it looks like she's resting rather than the celebratory nature of this card and the RWS. I'm actually curious. I want to see what it says about the Four of Wands. Okay. You've put in all the work to build your magical bonfire. Now it's time for some much-needed R&R. The Four of Wands invites the little teen witch to indulge in some satisfaction and enjoyment. Well done, O magical one. Enjoy and indulge. You have crossed the finish line. So that's just kind of a different interpretation, I guess. You can celebrate with other people, or you can celebrate kind of by resting. So it just shows how expansive this one is because it shows just different possibilities. I don't know if you could hear the birds. They're really loud right now. Yeah, so see, whereas like this is the Seven of Wands is quite typical to RWS, whereas this one you're like, what's going on in this one? So this one is, yeah, it deviates a lot more, but I really like that. And I love how they kind of have like a weird 90s vibe, this one. It's like 90s witches. I'm not sure when this deck actually came out. So this one's really interesting. Oops. Yeah, I like that this queen's a bit older. And now we're on to the pentacles. So yeah, again, this one is very traditional of the RWS, whereas this one, you wouldn't think that that's the Three of Pentacles looking at it. Yeah, again, totally different vibe. I guess it just depends on which artwork resonates with you and whether you're interested in more RWS or you want something a bit different. So this is the 7. I just love this 8 of Pentacles. It's like I want to live in that house with all the little magic potions. I also like that this 10 of Pentacles, normally, you know, it shows like different generations of families. And I like that this depiction is just someone by themselves. Because, you know, you can be your own family. You don't necessarily need other people as well. And these guys are quite similar. Yeah, so this one's a bit, don't know about this one. Someone's being branded. And now we're on to the swords. And I think the color pattern, this one's warmer and this one's cooler. So I guess that also is important, which color scheme you prefer. So this one, I feel like she's wearing like a Santa outfit, which is a bit strange, but like, yeah, who knows what's going on in there. It does give me major fall vibes though, which I absolutely love. So that one, she's crying, and then this one's just resting. And so 5 of Swords. Six of Swords. I like this one because she's quite confident and she's like definitely knows which direction she's moving in, whereas this one's a bit more under the cover of darkness. So yeah, that's cool. Again, this is a more typical RWS, whereas this is a bit different. Yeah, I really like this one because it's kind of like someone's plaguing your nightmares. Yeah, I really like this depiction of it. I mean, this is like the most Halloween card ever, am I right? Again, it's like someone kissing a donkey's butt. Not sure what's going on there. So yeah, let's see if the guidebook will shed some light on that. So that was the King of Swords. So the Initiate. Superior mental prowess, cruelty, a sharp mind, and a blade to match. Watch out for kicks. Manipulator. So I do like that it has different, for the court cards, it has different like phrases. So I guess like different ones associated with the Wheel of the Year and different practices in paganism, I suppose. That's pretty cool. And now we're on to the Ace of Cups. Again, love a witch at a beach. Absolutely love this card as well. I want to live in that shop as well. Sorry, I keep putting it out, the names out of shot. A lot of donkeys in this one. I'd be curious to know what is up with that. So the Ten of Cups. Like this one is really cool because it's obviously focusing on that creative energy and that artistic nature. This is romance vibes all around. Again, how many pregnant witches do we need to have in this? But what are you gonna do? And the King of Cups. So that's kind of it. I have to say, I probably do use this one a lot more just because it is easier to figure out what's going on because it's RWS. It's more related to that. Whereas this one, like, I love the imagery, but I do find it, I'll need to consult the guidebook, which sometimes, you know, I don't want to do necessarily. But yeah, I'll pop up a little kind of compare and contrast like I did with the last video, just so you can see, you know, the differences and make up your own mind. If you want any of these, do you have any of these? Do you like witchy decks like this? Because I know a lot of people like more realistic witchy decks rather than these kind of almost cartoony style. But yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about these decks. Which one would you get if you know, you had to? Because I think this one's more popular. I've never really seen anyone talk about this deck. But maybe like the fact that it's called Teen Witch has put like some people off and they're like, well, I'm not a teen, but it's not just for teens. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, and I'll see you in the next video.